like, you know it's not on if it's blinking.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
We're here, everyone. Welcome to Cinema Recall Podcast. Coming to you live using a new software called Riverside. I hope this works. We did a test for it, and it seemed to come through clear enough, so we're just going to give this a shot. But welcome, everyone. I am Vern, by the way.
I'm Ashley.
And welcome. We do have a special guest here that you can see to your left or right. We have
Wherever we are.
where we are.
We're jumbled in a puzzle from the Minotaur maze.
We have Mr. Cam Stoley from Jacked Up Reviews Podcast. Hello.
Thanks for having me back, my dude.
It is so good to see you, my friend. How you been?
Very good. In fact, I'm going to be with your partners in crime next week on Rules of Justice.
Oh, shit.
Awesome.
Yes.
Going to defend infamous spy movies.
What, infamous what movie?
Going to defend an infamous spy movie called Ballistic.
Oh, that X.
And Banderas. Yeah, I can't help myself.
Oh,
I once
gosh.
interviewed the director of that thing, so...
Oh, shit. Well, shouts definitely to
Crazy.
Ryan Luis
I know.
Rodriguez. And
Love that man.
to everyone else there as well. Yeah.
He's so cultured.
Dylan Slender. And I'm blanking on people's names right now.
Rob Maynard, Dylan Deschindler, like I said,
Yep.
and Eric is awesome. But yeah, like you say, it's just interesting how, again, it's a mock courtroom thing, and you just have to kind of just go with it. And half the time they're going to revisit the movies and be like, yeah, we were way too harsh on it, or yes, the movie does make sense. It's just heavy-handed or a little
Yeah.
bizarre in that third act. It's just interesting how you think you know it all, and you saw it once, and you're like, no, well, I saw it all, but I was in a bad mood, so that blinded me from thinking coherently and objectively about what I'm watching.
And I love that. And I'll look forward to that episode. Ashley and I were on one of their episodes talking
Yes.
about Footloose.
Oh, it was such a hoot.
Thank you. Yes. Still defending that one. And then I was on there earlier to defend Howard the Duck. So go check that out as
Yep,
well.
you gotta defend those George Lucas Marvel Muppets.
I do. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Well, for today's show, folks, we are going to be talking about the feature Rock and Roll High School, as well as our favorite movies that are set during high school. If this is your
Still
first time
on
listening to
Tubi.
this, recall, what's that?
Still on Tubi if you want to watch it.
That's true. Yes, Tubi on YouTube as well, where this podcast
Oh.
is. So check it out. There.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. If this is your first time listening to Cinema Recall, please check us out on all of your favorite podcast apps, such as Spotify and YouTube. And I can't say Stitcher anymore. No Stitcher, but Apple Podcasts.
Right. Can you believe that?
Pods.
I couldn't believe it just went away this year.
Just gone.
Yeah,
What was the reason?
I don't get.
They didn't really even say it. It's just like, we're done. 30 years, we're done. Okay.
Weird.
But before we do talk about the movie Rock and Roll High School, I thought it would be just kind of fun to talk about our favorite movies that are set during high school. And
Sweet.
I will start with our guest here. There's no limits here. I only picked 3, but you can pick up to 5 or 8. But
Sure.
I'll start with you. What do you have a first pick right there, Cam?
I have a very easy one. In fact, I was even more bewildered how it was a Warner Brothers production and it wasn't anywhere streaming on HBO Max. So I bought it for $5 on HD and decided to revisit it on Amazon. It is none other than Stand and Deliver.
Oh, with Edward James Olmos.
Edward James Olmos, Lou Diamond Phillips. It was one of those, I saw it once in junior high, and then I saw it again in high school. It was a popular movie for teachers to show at the end of the year.
What's the one that with Morgan Freeman as the teacher?
Oh, Lean On Me, and
Yes.
not to be confused with the UB40 song. But yeah.
The only thing I remember about Stand and Deliver is that South Park parody where Cartman's
Oh,
like,
did they do a
"How
parody?
do I reach these kids?" And he dresses up like the teacher from that movie.
Oh my god.
How do I reach these kids?
Oh my
Oh, that's awesome. South Park. Oh well, hell, there you go. South Park would count as a high school show, I guess.
True. I mean, but what's about Stand and Deliver that makes it good for you?
I think kind of like the aforementioned Footloose. It was just one of those. The music served a purpose, as opposed to only trying to sell the album, and it was just unlike other '80s movies. It really dated well. You didn't have to worry about, hey, this might get a little too gritty or sexual for kids, and it's just the message was simple but not pretentious or heavy-handed. Just very laid out. It's like, hey, if you don't want to be here in detention and you don't really want to learn, just do something that you actually do want to do instead of just being the hothead at, mocking the teacher at the back of the classroom. And Edward James Olmos is just such a progressive guy in general, and so you can tell when he does a role like this, he really wants it to land home, and you see it in his performance.
Yeah. It's been a while since I saw this movie. I remember him being good in it, but I don't really recall a lot about it. I've noticed since then they've made other versions of the story, like Dangerous Minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Michelle Pfeiffer's the ex-Marine.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good point there, Cam.
Coincidentally, and I did not intend this, I swear, I I just uploaded a clip from one of the Substitute movies.
Nice.
I like that.
But that's more lowbrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, that's more lowbrow. But Toy Soldiers is a cool one. It's kind of like Dog Day Afternoon in a private kids school.
Okay. Very
With
cool.
Will
I just know
Wheaton
that
kind of
part-
still in stand. Go ahead.
I just know that Bartika's song, Toy Soldiers, Step by Step.
I love it too. Yes, I was so disappointed
Why
when it
am I
wasn't in the
singing-
movie.
Eminem sampled that
Why
too.
am I singing
Yes,
this
he
song?
did.
Toy soldier.
Very cool. What do you got in your list of high school movies, Ash?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't get to. You sent me that email, but it's been first day of school this week,
Yep.
and it's been rough at my house, and so I'm not. Give me a minute to think of, because I was gonna say Dangerous Minds.
Okay.
That was one. And The Substitute, right?
Yeah.
Is that with during? Or what was one where it's like summer school?
The movie is something called Summer School with Mark Harmon.
Yeah,
Right,
Mark
with
Harmon. That's what I
Kirstie
think of
Alley
every
and Mark
time I
Harmon,
think-
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
With the
It's always
guys
funny
of-
when he sneaks in kind of a co-star from one of those movies into his JS show.
It's great about. I think the Summer School was my first introduction to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because there's a scene.
Oh, that's right.
in that movie in Summer School, and
Right.
Chainsaw and Dave are the two characters. Who are big horror hounds, and they always do like these cool practical effect gore scenes in the school. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Especially looking back at it now when everything's all digital.
Yeah.
Seeing them do the practical effects, that was a cool thing. I gotta say, one of my favorite movies that's set in high school was actually set during the last day of school, but it still counts, is Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
There you go. All right. That introduced
Yep.
us to the number one Texan.
His second feature after he made Slacker, and his first big studio movie, and it's a movie that essentially has no big plot to it, except it's his kid's last day of school, and you follow all these different characters around, and it's one of those high school movies that I wish I went to that school, and I don't mind the hazing.
You don't mind the hazing?
No, I would.
You wouldn't mind getting a spanking from Ben Affleck?
I just like braid it on, bitch. That's right.
Nice.
That's right. I'm like, it's all you got, bitch. That's right. And then, but then look at the character that Willie Wiggins has. I mean, yeah, he got spanked, but he got to hanging out with I think it was Jimmy London, and the friends got a beer, and he got.
I always got him mixed up with his twin brother.
Jason?
Goodness,
London?
I think so. Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is so wild how they'd fill in for each other.
Well, yeah, because Jason London was in Mallrats,
Yeah.
and I don't know what other movies he's been in for that. So, yeah. So that's one of my favorites. Days Confused. I've got other ones like Grease 2, and Why did you give me that look? I saw that look you gave me. I know our listeners cannot see the look that my co-host gave me, but my co-host gave me a little Steve guy right there for saying that Grease 2.
Well, the fact that anybody would watch Grease 2.
Because...
Hey, Michelle Pfeiffer's in there, so there you go.
Hey, I know.
Yeah? Come on, they have a whole classroom where they're saying about reproduction, alright?
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Her song, Cool Rider,
I shouldn't say anything because I've never watched it.
You never watched Grease 2?
No, but you want to know why? I make it a point to, like, when they come out with a sequel and they change characters and change actors, I won't watch it.
They didn't really change actors. It's not like they're not like the same characters.
They're not the same characters?
Yeah, it's not the same characters before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I didn't know that, but still.
It's Sandy's cousin is coming into school,
Boo.
and then Michelle Pfeiffer is taking over the role that Travolta had, and I think the gender switch works better. Plus, it works out great too because the opening song is "Back to School" by the Four Tops.
Okay. You'll have to make me watch it.
It's a fun movie. So yeah, Grease 2.
Make me.
Yes.
It's a very key term I'm using.
I will have to just hold you down.
Just sit on me, like pry my eyeballs open.
Yep. Watch this.
No,
enjoy it.
I don't want to.
Come on, enjoy it. What do we have a list? I said, what do you have a list on your next cam? But what do you have next on your list?
Man.
I can't talk.
So we did all the lowbrow ones. We did the fun ones. You know what? I'm gonna go. It's kind of boring nowadays, but it's still kind of just an interesting premise, and I'm gonna go ahead with The Principal.
Oh, Jim Belushi.
And Louis Gossett Jr. Yeah, I would always see parts of this on FX, and it was one of those I could never get much like Toy Soldiers and The Substitute. I could never get a straight answer from someone. But while Dangerous Minds is the better movie, this one's kind of at least interesting to just kind of see, just for a decent thrill ride and just simple entertainment. It'll fit the bill. But
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I don't think I have either all the way.
Yeah, it's not a must-see, but if it... Right, the box art's kind of more better than the movie, but the Lean On Me you mentioned was a good one. I just resaw this because I love Hilary Swank to death, just beyond underrated actress, but after seeing her canceled show, Alaska Daily, I decided to just rewatch some of her movies I hadn't seen in a while, and I decided to re-see Freedom Writers.
Oh, yeah, I heard that was great.
Yeah.
Who was the male lead in that? Wasn't it Patrick Dempsey or something? In that? Or
Yes. Yep. You're right. Yeah. Scott Glenn was her dad, who was kind of hard on her. He's like, I don't think you should take this on. And she's like, well, I have it in me to make sure these kids, come out of their shell, get comfortable.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm looking over my list right now of other movies. I have to mention my favorite movie of all time is Heathers.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, nice.
I do like that one very much.
I would say you have it on your list there, but Napoleon Dynamite is one of my favorite
there you go.
movies.
Napoleon Dynamite is a movie that I did not like the first time I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to warm up to that movie.
Oh, I loved it from the very first time I laid an eye on it. Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I thought it was so, dry and weird. I liked it a lot.
Okay. Well, another movie that's also kind of dry and weird, but a different tone is Brick.
Oh, nice. The
Johnson's.
Noir by Megan Fox and Gordon Levitt by Brandon Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, film noir that's set in high school. It's it's really good about a missing girl. But yeah, just Gordon Levitt is in there, and who else is in there? I think that
It's experimental. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of who the people that were in this one. There's one guy, Lucas Haas.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of the cast members I don't really
recognize
too much. Like you said that Megan Fox was in there. I don't recognize her in there.
No, Megan Good. Megan Good. Good.
Oh, Megan Good. Oh, okay.
She's the gal putting on all the makeup, acting like the popular girl in school. Which is an interesting commentary because that kind of foreshadows, again, what we talk about today with gender politics,
Gosh, exactly. I also got to mention Roby and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yep.
Which is very, very familiar.
It really holds up.
It does.
It does. And those fashions are coming back. I hate this.
Yeah.
Yes, the 90s fashion is coming back.
Little side note here, check out Ashley's guest spot appearance on That's the Bomb Yo, hella rad movies from the 90s over at Rabbit
The
Hole
Bomb.
Podcast.
Love that show.
The bomb, yeah.
Yep.
Jason Soto over there, so shout to that. Other ones I'd mention real quickly is Breakfast Club,
Clueless.
Oh yeah.
just because I, too, would have been the Anthony Michael Hall character in that Breakfast Club scenario. Although I'm not smart, I would not know how to basically put a bomb
Yeah.
in my
Locker.
I have no, I'm not a jock, and I'm not.
And how would you would have to really do it when everyone else is away at gym class, but with security cameras and other stuff, I don't even know how you'd get away with it nowadays, unless it was just a really crappy inner city school.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, people have their own people that they hung up with at high school, like their own little cliques. And I was the type of guy that I had friends in this clique and friends in this clique, but I never felt like I belonged to a certain clique. There was no movie geek clique in my
Geek club?
there. Well, I mean, yes, but not as big as
Right.
movie. Yeah, so I just found myself just wandering from hall to hall.
Right.
So when I see Breakfast Club and they're like, well, this guy is the weirdo and this guy's a princess, I'm like, I kind of want to hang out with all of them.
Right.
I want to be friends with Ali Sheedy, and then I want to go to see The Cure with Ali Sheedy, but then
There
go
you
see
go.
Duran Duran with Molly Ringwald.
Sure.
They probably go to those concerts together. I don't know. I would go to a D&D fest with Anthony Michael Hall's character.
Yeah.
I was
There you go.
with Judd Nelson's character.
Don't you love how that was a recurring joke on the show Psych, where they were seeing how many of the Breakfast Club guys they could reunite on there?
I never saw Psych.
I mean, I've
Okay.
seen a few episodes, but not fully. I mean, I know the premise, and I could recognize it if I saw it, but
You
I
love
didn't know
Kim-
that was a thing.
It in Community have a lot of meta humor.
Oh, really? Oh, sweet.
That's why they keep. That's why they keep doing new movies for Peacock every other year.
Well,
Hell yeah.
that makes sense. One of a fun 80, I think it was 80s high school movies that I really liked was One of the Guys.
Oh,
Remember that one?
I do remember that. One of the girls pretends to be a guy
Yeah.
to go into the all-guys school or something.
Yes.
That was a lot of things in the 80s too. You had a lot of men dressed up as women and women dressed up as men
Yeah.
because there were all these all-girls schools.
Yeah. Well, that movie, I think, probably is where they got the idea for. There was a movie in the 2000s where Amanda Bynes pretends to be her brother.
Oh
so
yeah,
she
she's
can
the
be on
one.
soccer-
She's the one.
Yeah.
She's the one.
Yes.
And that came out
yeah.
the same year as Stick It, which was another one that kind of flopped and just quickly became a video store favorite.
Stick It?
Yeah, Stick It with Jeff Bridges, Missy Peregrine, and sure enough, by college, my sister had said, "Oh yeah, I've seen it on YouTube 5 times." I'm like, "Oh really? Okay." So
I should check that one out because I don't recall that. I bet if I saw it, I would be like, I have seen that.
no, it's fine. It's a lot to take in. All the stuff we're
It is.
rediscovering.
Yeah.
I think one of my other favorite movies set in high school has got to be Carrie. Brian De Palma's Carrie.
We talk about horror.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I got to mention The Faculty.
Oh, that's the one I was going to bring up.
Oh, nice.
The Faculty, yeah.
There
Which
you
is
go.
like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, right?
I always
Yes.
got it mixed up with
Essentially.
it essentially is. I used to get it mixed up with Disturbing Behavior because they were both on Sci-Fi
so
Channel all the
was.
time.
Too.
That is a great one as well too, with Katie Holmes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird,
James
too,
Marsden.
Oh, James Marsden's in that.
Lucas
I think
Hodge.
both of
Not
those
Lucas
came out
Hodge.
at the same time.
Nick Stahl. Yeah.
Oh.
The Craft.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good one.
There you go.
So they are doing over on the Criterion Channel a bunch of horror-related high school movies
Ooh, that's
over
fun.
there. 'Cause I know they're doing like Sleepaway Camp and
Oh.
Oh, Downey Darko is great.
Oh,
Weird, but great.
and a few other ones that and the craft was on there too, that they're doing. And
I remember when I saw that one in the theater. I think I saw it a few times. It was so good.
they never saw the craft.
I always wanted to do the pencil thing, where she holds the pencil on her desk because she's bored, and then it stands up on its tip.
But you done with your girlfriend's stiff
Light
as
as
a
a
board.
feather, stiff as a board.
No, stiff as a feather, light as a board.
No, wrong, incorrect. The
No.
other way around.
Stiff as a
I
feather.
just said it correctly.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yes. Everybody did that.
I'm not a witch like you are.
I'm not a witch either. Do I like dark things? Do I like the occult? Do I set things out on a full moon? Sure.
Have you secretly tried to carve little symbols in my back?
Siggles in your siggles?
Simple, yes, that too.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Sickle cell research. I don't know.
that's right. So oh, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we got a few little movies there. I'm sure everyone here has heard about these before. So we're gonna take a small little break. Right, unless you have any more movies.
Allegedly.
Do you have any more movies to mention before we take this?
Oh, you know what? You love obscurities?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, well, I'm looking it up now.
Wait, look it up here. One other movie that I love that has a junior high school class, not essentially set in high school, but it does have a class, and that's Battle Royale. Battle Royale is about a
Fight to
group
the
of
death
young
movie.
kids
Yeah. Yep.
who are get drugged and are brought into an island where they're
God.
forced to kill each other.
Okay, good times.
Yes.
Good
It's
times,
great.
baby. Good times.
All right.
Have you seen Kill Bill?
Mhm.
Okay, you remember the fight that the bride had with Gogo Yubari, the little
Yes.
girl? All right, she's in that movie, and she attacks this guy who's trying to sexually assault her
Mhm.
in such a gratifying way because she just stabs his dick
Ah.
over and
yeah.
over again, and it's
That'll do it.
it's pretty epic.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
'cause all she do is she's just running, and this guy's like, "We should have sex because we're stuck on this island. There's nothing else to do. We might as well have sex with me." And then he tries to force himself on her,
Yeah.
and then she's like,
And
"No,
then she
dick."
just stabs his dick
Just stabs.
repeatedly.
That's how you do it, baby.
Did she end it with also slitting his throat?
I think so.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good for her. Love it.
But it's got a lot of great other sequences in there too. It's bloody. But it's got this really heartfelt drama to it as well. It's great. That's also playing on the Criterion channels in this movie.
There we go. Hey, speaking of Criterion, Blackboard Jungle.
Oh, okay.
I'm going way back. Young Sidney Lumet, starring Glenn Ford, is just an English teacher who's just trying to get everyone out of their shell, and just very inspiring. It's not a thriller by any means, but you kind of feel excited just because you just feel like you're just really just having. It's just talking about stuff that was taboo back in the 50s, rock and roll. Oh, you kids can't be listening to that.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
And
Are we taking a break?
beatnik generations. Yeah.
Yes, just a small little break right now. We're going to play some ad spots for the podcast recording. Hopefully this records the audio for this as well. But we're using a new program here, folks. It says it's recording, so we should be good.
I think it'd be fine. And then there's A Deadly Obsession. And despite, I think, airing on either USA or Lifetime, this was actually pretty intriguing. This has Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Mandalorian.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's an interesting psychological thriller.
We'll be right back to talk about Rock and Roll High School. Be back.
I didn't get to watch it. So. I've been doing rotten shrimp. Specifically Charlotte.
Oh.
She didn't go to school today. Day 3.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Do you have a brick?
Yes.
Forgot that I need a brick.
got these cool things on here that I can just try out. Let's see here. One of those works. Do you hear these?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. No.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Sweetness. All right. All right, Ash.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does the Chat Review show? Do you guys do live streams as well, or try to? Like, what do you talk to? What do you guys use?
We pretty much record ahead of time just because we got so many chaotic schedules. We don't know.
Okay.
We try to also find a theme, like where we can put it in that week. So, like, hey, if we talked about this or that, maybe it should go in this week.
Yeah. I'm gonna try.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yay! Wait, what just happened? You scared him away.
I did that sometimes.
I'll tell you why. He's scared of crowds. Oh, wait, he's back. Yay! That's fun. That's fun.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, woohoo!
We're back. Welcome back, everyone, to Cinema Recall Podcast. Here with Cam from Jacked Up Reviews podcast show. Now, for people that have not heard you on our episodes before, Cam, can you tell the listeners a little bit about your podcast and what things you have coming up here this month?
Absolutely. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Everything from just freaky movies to intriguing TV shows to just even a Schwarzenegger themed month. But we do all other sorts of just kind of gothic-y and horror anthologies and just serialized sci-fi. And we mainly we mainly just want to just keep just being a variety show and illustrating this material's place in pop culture.
I'm going to be very curious about your Schwarzenegger show. Do you have a favorite, like, what's your favorite Schwarzenegger movie?
Say Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't say it too fast or it sounds like a slur. Yeah.
It really is. I gotta be careful there.
Oh, Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. The way you said the shush twice.
Schwarzenegger.
No, I give up.
Sorry.
That's all good.
I like to tease Vern.
Okay.
We've also interviewed many other people in the world of radio, modeling, and we got some other slasher and franchise rankings and Christmas movies. But we got a John Carpenter week, which will be interesting, where we pretty much just decided to talk endlessly about Snake Plissken
Nice. Oh.
and the comic books. And we got a cinematographer-themed week, so was another good excuse to talk to other indie filmmakers who've been around for years, as well as even photographers
Awesome.
who are creative. We got a spy week coming up in October, so you can definitely hear us talk about some Netflix miniseries that we actually found bingeable and did deliver,
Really? All right.
where they weren't playing games, where they weren't, this would have been better as 5 episodes as opposed to,
right.
10.
They're just stringing it along, right?
Yeah, the best part was, we did get to talk about David Cronenberg because he has some movies that are kind of corporate spy movies at times, and as well as John Cassar, who I like to call the Brian De Palma of TV. You know him from his work on La Femme Nikita, FBI, The Kennedys, The Orville, and 24, and just the way he sets up a suspenseful shot, you're just like, yeah, I'm going to be taken on for a ride. And this is on the small screen we're talking.
Yeah.
Well, and shout out to you, Cam, David Cronenberg, because you were on our episode
Yeah.
about The Fly.
It was so hard to describe too. I don't know why. We've seen it a bunch of times, but we were just like, yeah, how do we sum this up for today's crowd?
I know, right? Just guy gets possessed by fly. He gets in love with a fly. It's the best way to describe it. But today, folks, we are here to talk about the 1979 cult feature Rock and Roll High School, starring P.J. Souls, Vincent Van Patten, the brother Clint Howard, the guy who was an ice cream man, and of course the Ramones. Now, this was directed by Alan Arkish, written by Alan Arkish and Joe Dante. Joe Dante directed one of your favorite movies, Ashley, Gremlins.
Rah, yeah.
And the Burbs.
And the Burbs?
Yep.
Those are both great movies, yeah.
And he also, he did like The Howlin' as well.
Oh yeah. Ironically, one of the Howling sequels, one of the more recent ones, is set at a high school.
Is it?
Yes. I wish I was kidding. It was so hysterically dumb. You should see it.
Yeah.
But Rock and Roll High School is about this girl named Riff Randall, played by P.J. Souls, who you'll recognize from movies like Halloween and Carrie. Yeah. And she has this big love obsession with the rock band The Ramones. And she spends the whole movie, she has this song that she's written for the band called Rock and Roll High School, and she wants to give it to them when they're in town. And meanwhile, she has her friend named, and I know I wrote this down somewhere, Robin, no, it's like, her best friend's name, Cam, I just blanked.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't
yeah,
get a chance to watch it. I had to get kids prepared for school and
it's all good.
among other things. So
I think the reason this movie it's both a music video and just an excuse for people to misbehave in school. Like, that's pretty much the essence of why this movie just keeps finding an audience,
fun.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Mary Warnov as the principal, and she's like this tough principal.
Oh man,
and
she is ruthless.
She thinks that the music is corrupting kids, and it's funny. There's like a sequence where she's explaining that music is being bad for mice, and you think it's because it destroys mice, which it does, but also it shows a mice being a normal mice, and then the next scene is a mouse wearing like a leather jacket.
Right?
And then
Great.
later
That's
on in
great.
the movie, there is a big mice wearing a leather jacket going to a concert, and the bouncer's like, "You can't be in here."
Yeah.
And the mouse says, "I got my earphones with me," and like, "You got earphones, you're good, come on in, because if you get too close to the speakers, mice will explode."
Oh my god. Okay, that's good.
And the guy who created the big giant mouse suit is Rob Bottin.
Okay.
Rob Bottin is a makeup artist who created all the effects in John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, all right.
And he did the effects works for RoboCop.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah.
So, but I'll ask you, Cam, what is it about this movie that did you like or hate it?
Well,
I don't know your opinion about this.
you pretty much a lot of the pros that you mentioned. It is a drive-in movie. If you are a fan of the punk rock band the Ramones, this is pretty much, it's kind of like any of the Beatles movies. You got to check out their movies because they're essentially half a concert movie, half a just wacky plot to go along with it, which, foreshadows MTV, and it's a Roger Corman production, so it is low budget, but it's just really done with so much fun. The cast is on fire. The police chief, played by, B-movie favorite Dick Miller. Clint Howard is there as the guy messing with the radio, the pirate radio. And the Ramones have gotten some flack for saying they didn't really act in this, but that's okay. They were playing themselves. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not acting.
why would
They're
you,
not acting,
why would
yeah.
you want them to act? That's not the point. Now, if that was the point, that would be solid. But isn't it also funny how Huey Lewis appears as the vice principal?
Yes.
Oh, in Back to the Future?
In Back to the Future.
Yes.
Right, but he's in this as well.
Wait,
Oh,
Huey Lewis?
Yeah, in this.
I did not recognize him.
Well, yeah, it was one of his first things he did, so that's okay.
Really? Oh, I wasn't even looking for him.
And
That's
yeah,
really
no,
cool.
it's fine. It's not easy to
As
find.
is-
So.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. And what they do...
I would have noticed.
Yes, he would have.
It's one of those you got to pay. You pretty much got to have the commentary on if you just want to be able to spot everything. You know.
Oh, that's cool. Now, cool thing about the Ramones is that even if this was a fictitious band that was made up for this movie, that would have been fine too. It's like when you watch, A Hard Day's Night, you know Beatles are a real band, but at the same time, they could also be a fake band that was created for the movie, and I like it for that as well. I like the fact that...
Exactly.
Because I found all the songs in this to be very fun. The opening song with Sheena as a punk rocker.
It's kind of like what Head was for the Monkees, you know.
Oh, sure. But, I mean, I don't think Head had a bunch of songs for the Monkees in there. It had some, but it didn't really showcase the Monkees as a rock band in Head. You didn't get to see Monkees being a band until the Monkees TV show.
Right.
So, but with Rock and Roll High School, Riff Randall's, which is a great name by BJ Souls, and their opening line, "I'm Riff Randall, rock and roller," is absolutely great. The sequence where she's singing Rock and Roll High School to her gym class, and it becomes like a musical number, was fun too. Essentially, folks, this movie is a fun high school musical before High School Musical.
Before High School Musical.
But with better songs.
With better songs,
With
sure.
better songs.
And probably better acting, let's get real.
Possibly, yes.
Have you seen High School Musical?
I heard of it. I've seen parts of it.
I've
but-
seen the Riff Tracks
I've
version.
seen it. I've seen it only because I have 3 girls and they were small when that came out.
Nice. Oh.
It was a big hit at our house.
See, I think you should pop on Rock and Roll High School with your girls. They would enjoy it.
I will.
They won't watch it really, but they'll probably walk through and bump their heads to the music a little bit.
Nice.
Head
Because
bopping.
Ramones-
Yeah, I did not watch it because I didn't want to. I just did not have the bandwidth
Because
or the time.
Because you have kids
Ugh. Yeah.
and a job.
Yeah.
You actually
2
have a
jobs.
life there, 2 jobs and
2
everything.
jobs and 2 kids. Well, I'm 4 cats and a rabbit.
For it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. Okay, that's totally cool. But I don't know, was there any moments there that you also enjoyed about Rock and Roll High School?
I love it when the one teacher, Paul Bartel, is just pretty much just joins in the mayhem, and he's like, "I hope we don't get caught." And it's like, see, so he's a kid at heart too, you know. That just and like you mentioned before, just the principal herself is just the actress just having a ball with it, just really, kudos also to Alan Arkush, who is active on social media. It just everyone knew what they were making. Everybody reminded you to have fun without just being, disorganized or just deliberately stupid. I mean, it is dumb in places, but it's done with, again, merit and intent instead of just, well, we made a campy movie, don't take it serious. It's like, no, we don't want you to take it seriously, but we do have a soul in this.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that her best friend in this movie is in love with this captain of the football team, and he's this very dorky person that talks about the weather, has a hard time trying to get a date, and he talks to Clint Howard's character to get him a girlfriend, and the captain of the football team, he's in love with Riff Randall.
Yes, I love it how you know their names. That's awesome. I'll have to rewatch it again.
And Riff Randall is, in love with the Ramones, and her best friend is in love with this guy. And the way that those 2 characters end up meeting and becoming friends, I thought it was a great thing. Because here's a guy who really wants to just get laid and have sex. And
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing is that at the end of the movie, he just wants to have, a friendship with her best friend there and actually have fun. And they end up having fun and actually do fall in love because what he wants is not the same thing as what he gets. And I think a lot of times in school movies where the guy's like, I'm obsessed with this girl's my dream, and at the end of the movie, they don't get the girl they want, but they get the girl they deserve, and I kind of appreciated it about.
Right. It just shows you that just everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. You know? And it's just very silly. There's a little side plot where Riff Randall is trying to get her songs to the Ramones, but then there's this other girl in line, and she's been to more shows. She's a little bit older. She befriends the manager of the Ramones so she can get backstage, and then that girl ends up stealing her songs to try to pass them off as hers, and Riff and her friends chase after them. It's a short 90-minute movie, and half of it is songs with the Ramones.
Nice.
Because they realize we've got this band here, we can get their songs, let's just sprinkle in these songs. And
yeah, this is back in the 70s when record companies were already kind of ripping people off, but, I mean, just the fact, this was kind of a win-win for both parties. You know, you take one of the band's radio hits and have it be the name of the movie, have them perform it a few different times. So it's very much like, you know, Purple Rain was for Prince, where it is, the movie is a compilation of the entire A and B sides of the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. And this is before MTV really had it big, because Purple Rain, its marketing worked because of MTV. But with Rock and Roll High School, there was no MTV at all. So you basically just had this movie being the promotional ideas for it as well. So, yeah. That's great. And I'll ask you this, Cam, because I found this to be very cool. Do you know who shot this movie?
I actually do not. I'm sure it's some other guys who went on to do bigger stuff or who worked constantly with Dante or Arkish, but
yeah,
you fill me in.
The director of photography was Dean Cundy.
Whoa?
Yeah, Dean Cundy, the guy who shot Escape from New York and The Thing.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Back to the...
and,
oh, man.
Yeah, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Man.
This was like one of his first features he shot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Our Roger Rabbit, the Thing guy, Apollo 13. Man, okay. Shit. I was just about to say, like, isn't the Zemeckis Spielberg Carpenter guy? Wow.
Yeah.
Man. That's cool. I'm sure it's a shame he's passed. That would have been one of the first questions we would have asked him.
Oh,
actually, wait,
shit.
no. Wait, hold up. He's still alive. Okay, my bad.
He's alive.
Okay. I was thinking of someone else who had passed. Okay, yeah. He worked on a lot of those. Yeah. No. He's good. He's up there. He's 77, so there's still time, though.
Oh, gosh. All right. But looking back at other Joe Dante films that I do enjoy, Inner Space, Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Right? Saw that in theaters.
Yeah,
that's great.
Twilight Zone, the movie.
Explorers.
Yep.
Small Soldiers.
I will say this though about Joe Dante.
Like
Small Soldiers.
If you love that, definitely check out the $2 late fee interview. Check out all those Podcasting After Dark guys. They got to interview Dante at some convention.
Cool.
Oh, sweetness. Hell yeah.
Some exclusive movie screening.
That's really interesting.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch is probably the best sequel ever.
Yep.
It's a movie that I'm going to have to do a whole episode on Gremlins 2 and Gremlins as well. Just because
that'd be great, man.
That came out, well, it's a sequel that came out like years later after Gremlins, and yet it should have not been made, and yet it was, and yet it was like a big FU to the studios that give them money as well. It's a big punk rock feature, and knowing that Joe Dante and Alan Arkish wrote Rock and Roll High School, which is essentially is a punk rock feature, was just very, very cool. And I love it. I love the fact that in this movie, Rock and Roll High School, there are like 30-year-olds playing high school students. PJ Souls was like 29 when she
Oh
made
my
this
gosh.
movie.
Yeah.
That drives me insane when I see movies
Oh, I can't believe I
TV
forgot to
shows of
mention.
high schoolers. Oh my god. And they're
It's the Ferris Bueller
ancient.
effect. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
The
shit!
grease effect. Are you
And I
kidding
can't
me?
believe I forgot to
Sizzles?
mention that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just old ass bitches up in that high school film. Ridiculous. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, you are you fuckers are old as shit.
You know why they had to do older actors in those high school movies? Because a lot of them feature nudity.
And you couldn't do it with teenagers.
Well, yeah, you couldn't really
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to exploit
But
people.
still.
Holy shit.
But at the same time, fucking terrible.
You see? Okay.
Yeah. We are all bastards. Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
bastards, and we love it here at Cinema Recall. But yeah, I mean, I've got nothing else more to say about Rock and Roll High School. I think it's just a fun movie. I think my favorite songs have got to be the beginning one where they're doing Sheena is a Punk Rocker, and then near the end of the movie where the Ramones come in and they're trashing the school and the Ramones are singing "Do You Want to Dance?" is just really great, and all the
Yes.
extras are doing their choreographed dancing in the hallway, and there's a shot, like a little tracking shot, where they're walking towards the camera, and I think it's expertly directed, just the way they had all the extras and students hitting their marks, as
Yeah.
well as they're doing the songs. And I don't care if the Ramones can't act, that's fine. They just play their songs.
I mean, they barely say anything anyway, so that's why I don't understand anyone just saying, I don't feel like they're actors. I'm like, well, I mean, would you complain about the Beatles if they were playing themselves in a movie? No. So what's
Right.
the problem?
Yeah.
If you're playing yourself, you get off.
That's right.
I know there's like one moment where they were delivering pizzas for the Ramones, and
Yes. And they're all like,
Rick
oh.
Rick Randall comes in the room with the manager, and Joey's like, "Hey, I know you. You wrote a song for us. Rock and Roll High School. Far out, man. You want some?" And then the guy's like, "You want some pizza?" Like, "Sure, pizza's great." And that's their whole.
Oh my god. Okay.
But there's also a cool sequence where Rick Randall is in her bedroom, and she's putting on a record by the Ramones, and she sees Joey singing to her like he's really there.
Yeah.
And then other members of the band, like Cece and Dee Dee Ramone, they're also in the her dorm room, and one of the guys is having a guitar solo in a shower,
Oh, God.
and she's
Okay.
dressed up in this towel, and I know that was a scene that they all just had major fun probably shooting as well, because PJ Soul was a little cutie, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the first time where she didn't play a major bitch, because in Carrie and Halloween,
Yeah.
she was, you know, kind of the evil
Nene.
bitch character, and you get to see her in a very fun role where she plays that girl in high school that you want to befriend because she didn't really belong to any sort of cliques. She has one obsession and one love, and that's the Ramones.
And that is it,
rock and
baby.
roll. And that's all you need
That's
sometimes.
all you need. A little bit.
That's all you
A little
need.
bit of rock and roll, motherfucker.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Word.
Oh. So I don't do. Do you ever have like a group that you obsessed over as when you were young? or-
No. I think I was like, I was really obsessed with New Kids on the Block
Okay.
when I was like 8 or 9.
Sure.
And then when I got a little bit older, 13 or so, it was Boys to Men. I was I was really into them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that was about it. I mean, I don't think there was like, I wasn't like fangirling over
Well,
anybody. I just remember that I had like the Boys to Men albums, and I had I really had to have the Usher album.
oh sure.
But that was about it. I wasn't like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or. I mean,
Okay.
I liked their songs, but I wasn't definitely not a fanatic.
You didn't have like
of
posters
anybody.
on the walls or T-shirts.
No.
Did you have any band like that, or not? Like, do you have a band or a musician that you were like, all right, I gotta buy their T-shirts and posters, or
I was kind of just more into listening to it, because I don't know why. It's just there's so many songs that I love, but not everyone saw. But if I had to pick, I would probably just get a kind of a generic rock one that was cool. But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about just Redbubble and how it's kind of taken over and given us all this merchandise that we don't have to spend near as much as we would at, say, the mall.
Sure. Well, I had one band that I had in my elementary through most of junior high. I had their posters. I had their T-shirts. That was Public Enemy.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Chuck D,
Elementary school?
Flavor Flav, Terminator-ettes, yes.
Oh
that
my.
It takes Nation Millions to hold us back. Fear of a Black Planet. Oh yeah.
All
Used to
right.
play those on repeat all the time. I was the only white kid in my school that had a Public Enemy T-shirts, and I loved it.
Very nice.
Love it.
And I had the posters on the wall, and there were people in my school like, "Do you know PE?" Yes, I know PE. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
oh, yeah.
never knew that about you.
Nah.
Well, all right. That's cool.
Rebel. Without a pause, I'm lowering my level. Here it is, bam, and you say, goddamn, this is a dope jam. But let's define the term called dope. I'm not going to do it more, but yeah, that was from Nate of the Living Bassheads. Just great track off the second album, and Taste the Nation and Billy's Hold Us Back. Oh, so good.
Nice.
Apocalypse 91, The Enemy Strikes Black.
Nice.
Great jam as well.
All right.
But yeah, so
Public Enemy, man.
hell yeah. I think they're still doing stuff right now, but not so much anymore. I stopped listening to them after, like, I think their He Got Game soundtrack they did, but I haven't really done much more dive into the PE fan culture. Flavor Flav had the Flavor of Love TV show.
I remember that show. Yeah. His big clock.
Yep.
Women were fighting over him. It was hilarious.
Yep. Oh, of course.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah.
But
Flavor Flav.
I've got nothing more to say about Rock and Roll High School or favorite high school movies. Cam, do you have any closing thoughts? About...
Don't be a bad parent. Introduce this to every generation, guys.
Nice.
Before we do go, Cam, I need your help in giving a shout out to our wonderful Patreon supporters.
Okay,
We do this
sure.
Every episode. First of all, patreon.com/cinemaricalpod is where you can find bonus episodes and episodes ahead of time and other great things that I put on that page. So patreon.com/cinemaricalpod. And we are to have both you and Ashley help me out with a shout out.
All right. It's my favorite part of the day.
All right.
Okay,
So shout out
sure.
right now to Jason Soto from Rabbit Hole Podcast.
Hey,
This
Jason.
is where we would say, yes. There you go. You did it, Cam. All right.
And we gotta thank Jeanette Makenham.
Jeanette, I hear you're an awesome
Jeanette.
dude. You're an awesome gal.
We gotta thank Matt and Ashley from Mashley at the Movies.
Hey, Ashley at the movies. Sometimes I sing it.
Donnie Roberts, who wrote the Deep Sea Anthologies and is at Unreal Goals on X Twitter.
X Twitter. Hi, Donnie.
The artist formerly known as X.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
dumb.
Leonard Castro from Ben Knobs and Broomflicks.
Woo!
Woo! Then we gotta thank Harvey Andrus,
Hey, I'm Harvey.
Harvey.
who is our former guitar player for Your Girlfriend, but he gives us big monies on Patreon, so
Oh,
thank you, Harvey.
yeah.
So, and then lastly, we gotta thank Jen McQuaid from Shocked and Applaud.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop,
Stop.
whoop.
Applaud.
But, but Cam, thank you very much for joining us on this episode. I really hope everything works out here fine, because
Anytime, man.
Really
Always a
bad.
party here.
I'm sure we fun.
I'm really bad at like, trying to do all these things together here.
That's true.
You see?
Thank
So
you,
people
man.
are
It's
laughing at me.
always
Yeah.
a party here.
See,
Oh, canned laughter.
canned laughter. I love these things with canned laughter. I can probably put this stuff in episodes here.
I love
It's
it.
epic. But yes, by all means, everyone here, check out the Jacked Up Reviews podcast show.
Thank you.
It is really great stuff.
Something for everybody.
Love it. Just a bunch of different
Try your
shows in
damnedest.
there. Yes. Keeping it strong there. I know that we'll be back for an episode I'm doing next week or so for Patreon, interviewing an author of a book about movie quotes called "You're Talking to Me." So,
Cool.
You're talking to me.
You talking to me?
Brian Abrams is the
No,
writer's name.
the person behind you. Sorry,
Oh,
Cam. Not. I wasn't you.
You
hooing
talking
you,
to
I was
me?
you-hooing. I was you hooing those two.
Oh, you who though too? Okay.
But
Who
if
are
I
you
knew
talking?
you, I would you-hoo you too. It's okay.
And then also keep in mind too that we are going to be doing our audio play version of Clue
Yeah, when is that
near
happening?
the end of this month.
All right.
All right, so
All
look for
right.
that. That's happening over at Rabbit Hole Podcasts. We're going to do a whole audio version of Clue. So
Yes.
Sweet.
look for that. Anyways, folks, as always, I am the Vern.
I'm Ashley. Thank you, Cam.
Anytime. Godspeed you all.
All right, good talking to you, buddy.
Prosper. Thank you.
Old lady
Oh.
noises.
Old lady noises. All right, after the season sports here. All right, we can still record here for a second because that's just where I'm hoping. Oh gosh,
good.
do not get old Cam. This sucks. Getting old sucks. All right, so I'm gonna stop this and see if I can save my recording. Please, works.